Good evening, and welcome to St. John Fisher University's 69th commencement. In accordance with the fire codes, there are exits located on each side of the room. Please take a moment to familiarize yourself with the exit closest to your section. If you require assistance during the ceremony, or if you are in need of medical attention, please notify one of our event staff and we will assist you. At this time, please rise for the procession of the School of Arts and Sciences class of 2023.
Thank you. Class of 2023, friends and family joining us via live stream, and colleagues, I declare the 69th commencement open. Welcome to St. John Fisher University. My name is Kevin Raley, and I have the privilege of serving as Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs here at Fisher. Congratulations to our graduates, as well as all of the family and friends who are with us today. Let me also add a happy Mother's Day to all of our moms who are with us in person and virtually. Where would we be without our moms? I would like also to offer a special salute to our student veterans who are here to celebrate their graduation, as well as veterans who are with us today or in our online audience. Please join me in a round of applause for them. We sincerely thank you for your service. We are joined on stage by several members of our Board of Trustees, Tom Bowles, Mark Peterson, and Diana Knoll, as well as my senior staff colleagues. Thank them for being here today as well. I'd ask you now to stay standing for the national anthem and to continue standing during the invocation given by Father George Smith.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting
Let us pray. God of joy and hope, source of all that is good and beautiful, origin of peace and justice, God of the earth, which nourishes all life, we invoke your Spirit upon all those gathered today to celebrate the graduates of our School of Arts and Sciences. We thank you for this time of commencement. Your spirit of wisdom has empowered our students' pursuit of goodness, discipline, and knowledge. As these graduates prepare to receive their diplomas, may they do so in gratitude for the many blessings they have received. As their families and friends witness their success, may they be blessed for their sacrifice and loving support. And as their teachers and mentors rejoice in the fruit of their labor, may they be blessed with gratitude for the nobility of their vocation. In the beauty of our diversity of faith, identity, and thought, unite us in our love for our university and reverence for its mission. Your Spirit is upon us, Almighty God. For this we give thanks. Amen.
Thank you, Father. Please be seated. At this time, please join me in welcoming the 7th President of St. John Fisher University, Dr. Gerard Rooney, for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Raley. Good afternoon and welcome to our graduates. We're especially pleased to welcome also families and friends of our graduates, my faculty colleagues and senior staff colleagues and trustees. Class of 2023, congratulations for all you've accomplished to this point in your educational journey. We are so proud of you and we look forward to celebrating you today. 75 years ago, the inaugural fund drive to establish St. John Fisher was successfully completed thanks to the combined efforts of the Basilian Fathers, Bishop James E. Carney of the Diocese of Rochester, local business leaders, and many parishioners of Catholic parishes in Rochester. The following year, in June 1949, ground was broken for the construction of Carney Hall, and in the fall of 1951, our first class of students arrived. Since then, Fisher has experienced seasons of change, new beginnings, and remarkable successes. We've enjoyed unprecedented growth. We have had a significant impact on our region and local community. We remain focused on our collective work to broaden that impact. And through it all, we have continued to live by the motto of our Basilian founders, "Teach me goodness, discipline, and knowledge." We have conferred over 34,000 degrees. We have grown from offering a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Business Administration in the 1950s to today's offerings including Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Business Administration, Master of Public Health, and doctoral degrees. You have been part of Fisher's growth, our successes, and our new beginnings. And today, as we reflect on our institution's storied past and look ahead to a great future, we celebrate you. Welcome once again, and congratulations. It is good to be with you. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Rick DeJesus Roof, Emeritus Vice President of Student Affairs at Fisher, to join me at the podium for the presentation of our President's Medal. Dr. DeJesus Roof retired after a 44-year career in higher education, serving at 7 different colleges in a variety of administrative and teaching roles. Born in El Barrio in New York City, he was raised there and in North Philadelphia. He was the first member of his family to attend college, enrolling at Haverford College to study Spanish and Latin American literature. He went on to earn his master's degree in counseling psychology from Temple University and pursued a doctoral degree in counseling psychology at Boston University. He started his career as a bilingual counselor at Atlantic Community College in New Jersey and then moved into the role of Latino counselor and coordinator at Oberlin College in Ohio. By 1984, he returned to Haverford College to serve as assistant dean and director of minority affairs before moving to the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey in the role of Associate Director of Minority Affairs, and then becoming Director of Admissions in 1988. From 1989 until 1997, he served the Philadelphia College of Textiles and Sciences first as Associate Dean for Student Affairs, and then as Acting Dean for Student Affairs. In 1997, he arrived at Fisher and served as Dean of Students and Associate Provost until 2008, when he was appointed as Vice President for Student Affairs and Diversity Initiatives. He remained in that role until 2017. A first-generation college student himself, Dr. De Jesus Roof became the first academic director of Fisher's first-generation scholarship program and continues to be an integral part of the program today, teaching several seminars for first-generation scholars in their first and second years at Fisher. In fall 2022, he taught his last learning community course for first-year, first-generation scholars. In Rochester, Dr. De Jesus Roof currently serves on the boards of the Center for Teen Empowerment and Leadership Rochester. From 2000 to 2017, he was also a member of the Center for Youth's Board of Directors. For several years, he served as a faculty member with the Racial Equity and Justice Initiative in Rochester, and he remains active with the Sustained Dialogue Campus Network through the International Institute for Sustained Dialogue, based in Washington, D.C. I had the privilege of serving as a member of the cabinet along with Dr. De Jesus Roof for much of my tenure at Fisher, and he was a true student advocate, a consummate professional, and a personal friend. In recognition of his years of service and leadership at Fisher and his great impact on the first-generation scholars who have graduated from our great institution, we are proud to bestow the President's Medal upon Dr. Rick De Jesus Roof.
President Rooney, thank you very much for bestowing on me this honor. I accept this honor not only for myself, but on behalf of all of my colleagues who contributed to the success of the First Generation Scholars Program. First, the late Charlie Constantino, whose generous gift was a catalyst for the scholarship. Dr. Dave Arnold, former provost, who invited me to develop the learning community class that is now the foundational course for the program. Mrs. Sally Vaughn and Father Robbins of campus ministry, whose diligent efforts to structure the service component allowed scholars to become involved in the Rochester community in a consistent way. Ms. Stacy Liederman and her admissions staff, who recruited and enrolled the first generation scholars. Dr. Dave Baranoff, Dr. Dave Pate, and Dr. Tim Franz, faculty colleagues whose advice and support allowed me to think clearly about the foundational course and the seminars. My learning community partners, David O'Brien, Carmel Priori Garlock, Dr. Deborah Heumann, Dr. Bill Waddell, Dr. Jenna Rossi, and now Dr. Rob Rule. Dr. Eileen Murgis, Dr. Ryan Thibodeau, and Dr. Marta Rodriguez Galan, Ms. Tia Terrance, and Dr. Kathy Sweet, colleagues who joined me at different moments to teach the seminars. And Ms. Erin Barry, who, as the founding director of the Institute for Civic and Community Engagement, contributed to the reimagining of community service by our scholars. She was assisted first by Ms. Liz Rizzolo, and then by Ms. Emily Collis. Their work has elevated the service component and created a stronger link between the academic and service components of the program. As you can see, the creation and implementation of the First Generation Scholars Program was truly a team effort. I would be remiss if I did not also credit the many first-generation scholars who, during the past 24 years, helped make the program positive and successful. Through their commitment to service in the community, as well as on campus, their dedication to academic achievement, the scholars have truly made this program a high-quality experience. Thinking about the philosophy of the program, I am reminded of a student who cited a verse from the book of Isaiah in an application to serve as a peer counselor. She wrote, "A bruised reed he shall not break, a flickering wick he shall not quench." She linked this to a philosophy of support for those who feel unsure of themselves, I believe the First Gen program encourages students who might feel unsure to find their voice, as well as their capacity to achieve more than they imagine. That begins when the First Gens receive a welcome letter around August 1st each year, telling them of their first essay due on the first day of class, which always happened to be Labor Day. That letter concludes with a quote from Frederick Douglass. "My dear young friends, accept the inspiration of hope. Imitate the example of the brave mariner who, amid clouds and darkness, amid hail and storm bolts, battles his way against all that the sea opposes to his progress. And you, too, will reach the goal of your noble ambition in safety." The First Gen program invites students to accept the inspiration of hope as they meet the challenges of life as a college student. In their learning community and the seminars that follow, they study how succeeding generations of citizens accepted the inspiration of hope to achieve advances in human rights and democracy associated with the civil rights movement of the mid-20th century. What they learn is their foundation for thinking about leadership and civic engagement in our society today. It has been a privilege and an honor to work with so many students who choose to develop their capacity to work collaboratively for the common good. Again, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and scholars who collaborated over these many years to make the First Generation Scholars Program a great one, I thank you.
Thank you, Rick, and congratulations again. If you ask any of the Fisher faculty why they chose college teaching as a career, you would find a common thread running through their answers. Professors, lifelong students that they are, love to learn, love to engage, love to debate, and they love to impart knowledge to others. Class of 2023, you've experienced your professors' work firsthand. Each year, the university asks for your help in selecting a professor who excels in their role as teacher, advisor, scholar, and academic mentor. The award for teaching excellence is given annually to 2 full-time faculty members at both the undergraduate and graduate levels for outstanding work in the classroom. Recipients of this award must demonstrate thorough knowledge of their subject matter, solid preparation for class, clear and effective communication, and genuine enthusiasm for their job. It is with great pleasure that I present the recipient of this year's Undergraduate Faculty Award for Teaching Excellence to Dr. Terrence Gibson, Assistant Professor of Public Health. Dr. Gibson, please join me at the podium. As one student nominator said, Dr. Gibson has provided me an array of different opportunities to thrive at St. John Fisher University, in addition to assisting me with my professional resume through research opportunities. Dr. Gibson strives to make sure all students achieve greatness, and he goes to great lengths to do this. Another wrote, Dr. Gibson goes above and beyond to help his students, and even those who are not his students. He is a role model in the community, an advocate for social justice, and often asks students how he can be better and change his courses to help them. He even goes on Zoom at 9 p.m. to help me with my classes. He provides us many opportunities as he can to help his students network. I have a classmate who he meets with twice a week to help him find internships. He has been an inspiration to me and has truly changed my life. This is why people do this work. Finally, one shared, Dr. Gibson is a wonderful and passionate professor who puts his students at the forefront. He is super knowledgeable in public health and related subjects, which makes learning from him interesting and rewarding. He brings love and passion into his work, and students can really see that in the way he teaches his classes. He has made the classroom and the work meaningful and enjoyable for all of us. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Gibson on this honor. At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Anne Marie Fallon, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, to say a few words.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Dr. Rooney, Dr. Raley, and thank you, Dr. Gibson and Dr. DeJesus Roof, for your tremendous service to the university, to our students, and to the profession. And welcome, graduates. Congratulations. As members of the Fisher family and almost Fisher alumni, you join a deep-rooted network with roads and byways that extend across the country and the globe. Even as you join these highways, your roots are here with us in Rochester. You are part of the legacy of Basilian education, a philosophy built by the order of clergy dedicated to teaching and to ensuring that people have access to a broad educational experience, to be free of too narrow a point of view. A broad general liberal education has always been about shaping the way we think, sharpening our abilities to ask hard questions, interrogating the world as we find it, and learning to connect with other human beings to create a world we want to find. Science, math, painting, music, poetry, and novels have all offered human beings solace and uncertainty. I am amazed by the ways we create things of beauty in the midst of ugliness. In the bombing in Kiev, Ukraine, we see a woman stopping to play the piano on her way leaving her apartment. At the US-Mexican border today, as we have an immigration crisis, artists paint murals commemorating lives lost, but also celebrating the culture that emerges in these in-between spaces. But art isn't just a way to escape ugliness. Is it a way to create meaning out of chaos? One of my favorite poets, Antonio Machado, was a Spanish writer and professor in the Spanish Civil War, and was a refugee who died on the French border in 1939 as the chaos of World War II was beginning. In his poem, The Wanderer, he writes, "Wanderer, your footsteps are the road, and nothing more. Wanderer, there is no road. The road is made by walking." We are sending you off into truly uncharted territory. When you started, we could direct you to faculty offices and tell you how to ask a good question. We could point out the number of pages to read this week and model for you how to solve a math problem or to read a complex sonnet. We knew we were preparing you for a world of uncertainty, but just how much uncertainty is something that surprised all of us. You are commencing today, launching, and there is no paved road ahead, my friends. You will make the road by walking. But you are not alone in this journey. In your knapsack, you can call up the joy you found in stumbling upon an unexpectedly beautiful passage in a novel, the delight of discovering an image in a microscope, the satisfaction of balancing an equation, or the connection you discovered between a course on politics and a class in history. And on this journey, you are surrounded by a larger community who brought you to the tools of navigation and will continue to be here to talk about these questions and uncertainties and discoveries together. All you have to do is look up and ask. As wise humans who are commencing on an amazing, almost unimaginable journey this weekend, it means you have the responsibility to carry the legacy of the past, the traditions of the liberal arts, and the beauty of the human condition forward. We hope we have given you adequate tools for this journey and that goodness, discipline, and knowledge continue to be your guiding lights. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fallon. Will the degree candidates of the class of 2023 please rise? Dr. Rooney, Dr. Rooney, the faculty of St. John Fisher University have recommended that the following students have satisfied the degree requirements set forth by the State of New York and have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the university. Thus, I am pleased to present the candidates for the degrees of Master of Public Health, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science.
In the presence of the trustees, faculty, students, and friends of St. John Fisher University, in public convocation assembled, by virtue of the power granted to the university by the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York, and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of St. John Fisher University, I do hereby confer on candidates here present and such others in absentia as are recommended by the faculty and certified by the registrar, the degrees of Master of Public Health, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science, as each are entitled, together with all the rights, privileges, and honors appertaining thereto.
The candidates are here. I would ask Dr. Hurd and Dr. Griffin, our commencement enunciators, to read the names of the graduates. We'll start with the baccalaureate recipients, I believe. All right, I apologize. We're going to start the master's degree recipients first.
Amy L. Goldman, excuse me. Jordan Beatrice Lehman. Matthew Joseph McKinder. Peter Nicholas Matos. Anna Maria O'Donnell. Allison R. Osterhout. Margarita Maria Tegas.
And now we move on with the baccalaureate degree recipients. Thank you.
Marcus Lindenberg, summa cum laude. Hamza Isse Abukar. Samuel Kyung Acosta, cum laude. Mathieu Dane Ackward. Ranouk Salah Al-Rubeya, cum laude. Modawi Badr Al-Khalid, magna cum laude. Cassandra Leigh Ames. Margaret Jo Kinney Ngotti. Kiana Brooke Anibali, cum laude. Adriana Christine Arcarizi. Jaylene Yvette Arroyo. Annalisa Batchik. Patrick Sean Banas, magna cum laude. Solimar Beiredo. Emma Marie Bartholome, summa cum laude. Logan Daniel Bauer, magna cum laude. Skylar Madison Bedell. Connor Paul Bennett, magna cum laude. Benjamin Jocelyn Belinsky, cum laude. Mackenzie M. Bowerman. Josiah Bowers. Marissa Caitlin Brennan, summa cum laude. Jackson Daniel Bright. Michaela R. Brigida, cum laude. Julia Ann Britton. Marissa Claire Bullman, summa cum laude. Michael Burgos. Sophia Burt, cum laude. Colin P. Campbell, summa cum laude. Hollis Ann Caputo, magna cum laude. Zoe Carlisle, summa cum laude. Oceana Carter Chansey. Natalie M. Castaldo, summa cum laude. Jemalee Catul, magna cum laude. Shaylee Seeley, summa cum laude. Erin Nicole Schiavdini. Jeffrey Raymond Claremont. Grace Glenna Colapriti, cum laude. Tyler Storm Cole. McKenna Ann Cohn, cum laude. Benjamin Gary Conroe, summa cum laude. Joshua Cook. Kira Cook, cum laude. Constance Ann Coraci. Ashley Paulina Cornett, summa cum laude. Maria Ann Covelli, summa cum laude. Mark Robert Crisfield. John William Cross. Mackenzie E. Curry. Brittany Wynn Dam. Jessica D'Amico, summa cum laude. Jonah Stephen Dean. Nicole DeAngelis. Caroline A. Delaney, cum laude. Ethan Albert Dorshuk. Elizabeth Marie Dona, magna cum laude. Adam Drake, summa cum laude. Samuel Kenneth Dumas. Jean Durham, Betty Durham, cum laude. David Leland Ikas, summa cum laude. McKenna Irwell, magna cum laude. Michael Edwin Escobar. Mac Joseph et al., cum laude. Brandon Scott Falcone. Garrett Thomas Fryer. Sydney May French, summa cum laude. Nicole Rose Fuchs, summa cum laude. Justin James Gabriel, summa cum laude. Samuel Lowe Gadjo. Karina Julini Garcia, summa cum laude. Emma Elise Garn, cum laude. Nasra Jelani Ghazali, magna cum laude. Purnima Gimare, magna cum laude. Kaylee Ann Gibb. Kiara Therese Gilbert. Mark Anthony Giordano. Carlissa Morgan Gipe, cum laude. Devin Andre Glaza. Mary Angeles Gonzalez, summa cum laude. Joseph Luis Grammatico. Grace Ella Greer, cum laude. Hannah Jane Gross, cum laude. Tommy Ha. Ryan James Haig. Zoe Catherine Haynes, summa cum laude. James Frederick Harding. Matthew J. Harris. Cole Jeffrey Hedden, summa cum laude. Jordan Riley Helfer, summa cum laude. Drew Nicholas Hernecker, summa cum laude. Jacob Scott Hickok, cum laude. Elizabeth Ryan Higgins, summa cum laude. Joseph Thomas Hogan. Samuel David Hopesha, summa cum laude. Joseph Anthony Howard. Patrick Izzo. Madison Maureen James, summa cum laude. Tatiana Jones. Savian Joral Joyles. Ryan James Cabell. Sienna Catherine Kaler, cum laude. Alex Benjamin Kimball. Allison Alexis Kimball, cum laude. Bradley Kinsman. Caitlin Alexandra Kinter, magna cum laude. Austin La, summa cum laude.
John Christopher Lacanina. Gianna Lara Quinte. Christian John Leonardo, summa cum laude. Sydney Lesser, cum laude. Caroline Bridget Leva, cum laude. Jenna Marie Leidecker, magna cum laude. Han Xiao Lu. Claudia Sifa Lola, cum laude. Ivan Lopez Testiliano, magna cum laude. Azalea Agia Lugo, cum laude. John William Lyons III. Michaela McDowell, summa cum laude. Chloe Elizabeth Madigan. Caleb Gage Mangan. Monica Marie Marr. Anne Marie Elizabeth Marseglia, summa cum laude. Gavin Lewis Miller, magna cum laude. And big feet. Thomas Minahan. Molly Elizabeth Mineo, magna cum laude. Delila Mervick. Kevin Francis Mitchell. Fadumo Noor Mohammed. Nicholas Edward Mondor, summa cum laude. Joseph Adam Morsheimer, magna cum laude. Emma Jean Moscato, summa cum laude. Lauren Catherine Mossing. Hannah Elizabeth Moyer, magna cum laude. Grace Rihanna Maracha, magna cum laude. Anthony J. Murator. Jeffrey Thomas Nersinger. Hunter Anthony Newton, cum laude. Brandon Thomas Nicosia. Leah Shea Norton, cum laude. Shane O'Day. Luke Daniel Otto, cum laude. Phoenix Michael Palmer. Isabella Elvira Pandolfo, summa cum laude. Gabrielle Ann Papel, summa cum laude. Zakiah Ashur Patterson. Gabriella Grace Pauley, cum laude. Jenna Catherine Peterson, summa cum laude. Blake Joseph Petrus, cum laude. Melanie Ann Pitcher, cum laude. Sophia Ann Prouty, summa cum laude. William Pulver, cum laude. Richard Sullivan Quinn, magna cum laude. Mariah Darlene Quincy, cum laude. Joseph T. Reyeski. Naya Ariel Marie Robinson. George Dumais Ross, cum laude. Jessica Ryan, summa cum laude. Michael Anthony Salamone, cum laude. Clarisbeth Sanchez Cabezudo. Michaela M. Santmuir. Norman Savatpai. Matthew M. Schmidt, magna cum laude. Gabrielle Michelle Sheehan, cum laude. Veronica Elise Sheehan. Susanna Lee Chi Sheeran. Helen Rose Faustina Shine. Ben Shumsky. Sophia Marie Skinner. Kevon Small. Tatum Elise Smith, summa cum laude. Lauren Spingler. Rita Penelope Stathopoulos, magna cum laude. Mitchell Peter Steedman, cum laude. Parker Christopher Stevens, magna cum laude. Joseph Todd Stone. Jake Robert Schweitzer. Derek Joseph Tandle, summa cum laude. Andrea Tapia Sira. Kara Casey Toronto, summa cum laude. Alan David Telfort. Julia Lynn Thomas. Madeline Florence Christine Tibbetts. Idris Yaya Trayor. Emma Kate Uberti. Maxwell Henry Utman, summa cum laude. Teresa Marie Van Wormer. Angela Vega. Nicole Christine Verplank, cum laude. Jacob Cahill Vitere, cum laude. Ruth Sedgley Wagner, summa cum laude. Bradley Walton. Cameron Lee Weller, summa cum laude. Maria Gabrielle Wild, summa cum laude. Catherine Williams. Madeline Margaret Williams. Romel Juvar Williams. Eric Allen Wilson. Allison Lee Witt, cum laude. Jacob A. Young. Damian Michael Zawatsky. Ada Zagai. Finally, it is my pleasure to introduce the recipients of the Trustees Ranking Scholar Award, who have the highest cumulative GPA regardless of the number of graded credits earned at the university. McKenna Brielle Atkinson Snow, summa cum laude. Caitlin Keenahan, summa cum laude.
right, graduate. Oh, it's not on anymore. Can you hear me? The mic is off, gentlemen. All right, graduates, it's now time to turn your tassels. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Good luck out there. At this time, I would invite Dr. Fallon back to the podium to recognize our award winners.
Earlier this afternoon, we held an awards ceremony recognizing dozens of students in the School of Arts and Sciences for their academic achievements, service, leadership, and commitment to their discipline. All winners are listed in the program, but I did want to take a moment to ask them to please stand for a round of applause. Congratulations to you all. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Marcus Lindenberg, who has been chosen by the school to speak on behalf of the graduates. Marcus?
Thank you, Dean Fallon. Good evening, friends, family, faculty, staff, and most importantly, graduates of the class of 2023. My name is Marcus Lindenberg, and I'm honored to have been selected as your student speaker tonight. I want to give my thanks to all those who have made my time at Fisher worth it. A very special thanks to the English and American Studies departments, and gracias al Departamento de Español for all their help in bringing me here today. When I first came to Fisher, I wasn't sure what to make of my new surroundings. Born and raised in Seattle, I had nothing to prepare me for the quirks of this new area. The lake effect, garbage plates, and the enduring fanaticism of the Buffalo Bills were all alien to me. Culture shocked, I figured I would keep my head down, get my degree, and move on. But, just as anyone who's had a handshake from Dr. Rooney will tell you, Fisher isn't a place that lets you go easily. I found myself confronted with earnest, caring individuals who saw their goals and worked hard to achieve them. Many of these people are gathered here today, having left their mark on the university, ready to move on to whatever's next. Often, when we think of the goals of a college student, we think of a specific career ahead of them. And don't worry, Mom and Dad, all the time and money put into this degree will lead to jobs. But a career is made possible not only by the jobs we have, but by the skills and aspirations that we fostered during our time here. There's so much I could say about what Fisher has taught me, but it can be summarized best by the intention of our university's creation. St. John Fisher was founded as a liberal arts college, creating study for the purpose of study, or, as our mission statement puts it, a quest for knowledge and truth. As graduates of the School of Arts and Sciences, you carry this tradition with passion for whatever field you follow and a desire to question when confronted with the new. As you leave tonight with your tassels turned, remember that you came here because some part of you saw the value in continuing to learn. Nourish that part of yourself and take it with you as you go out into the world. Be prepared for new perspectives welcome the possibility that you may look back on yourself on this day and marvel at how much you've changed. Search for the things that bring you joy, particularly if they are unexpected. Most of all, remember that you have made it through this hurdle, and you will make it through more. Thank you again, and congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Marcus, and congratulations. Please join me now in welcoming President Rudy back to this podium to share some closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Raley. Graduates of the class of 2023, let me tell you briefly about our patron, John Fisher. By his example of linking learning with holiness, by his service to God and to the human family, by his loyalty to faith, conscience, and his principles, John Fisher's life bore eloquent witness to the enduring values of goodness, discipline, and knowledge. I invite you to practice what you have learned during your time here and live the motto of your alma mater, practicing goodness first, tempered by discipline, informed by knowledge. As part of putting these principles into practice, I encourage you, as you rightly celebrate your accomplishments today, to think of the people that helped you on your journey, siblings, mentors, teachers, parents. As one alumnus put it, the community of advocates around you. With their support and your diligent work, you now have the distinction of a college education or an advanced degree and the responsibility that comes with it. Just as your personal communities contributed to your success, it is now up to you to engage with new and different communities and contribute to their success. As college graduates, you have the ability to effect positive changes where you live and work, to take on influential roles, and to help shape your communities based on the knowledge and principles you've refined during your time at Fisher. There will be setbacks and triumphs, joys and sorrows, but I encourage you to remain engaged, committed, and dedicated to your communities and to your values. My hope is that your education has been a transformative experience that has made a positive impact on you. You should know that you've made a positive impact on our great university as well. I encourage you to stay involved with Fisher as alumni. Perhaps an alumnus has helped you at some point in your journey here. You are now in a position to help others, future Fisher students, who will be in the same place that you were a few years ago. Thank you for spending this time with us and for your many contributions to St. John Fisher University. Your accomplishments and your spirit have helped make Fisher the special place that it is. It's been my pleasure to serve as your president, and I know I speak on behalf of our faculty and staff when I say it's been a privilege for us to be part of your educational journey. No matter where life takes you, I encourage you to live your lives with purpose and to work to create a positive impact, and always remember your days at Fisher. We wish you the best of days ahead. God bless you all.
I'm going to ask you now to rise and then singing of the university's alma mater, and then to remain standing for the benediction offered by Father Smith. Grab that first. Thank you.
Let us pray. God, our Creator, Spirit of life, we thank you for this day and for the wisdom to recognize our gifts and serve you with gratitude. Guide these graduates as they pursue their dreams in unexpected ways. Provide them with the courage to move beyond fear and doubt, to find strength in their capacity to care for others and to respect the diversity of humankind. Help them to be mindful that true success is born of meaningful relationships and a community that embraces peace and justice. Bless them with patience as they explore new horizons, with humility in the face of success, with compassion for the poor, the sick, and the suffering, with gratitude for friends, mentors, and family who have supported them through this journey. And bless us all, family, friends, faculty, trustees, academic leaders, mentors, and supporters, as we share in the joy of their accomplishments. Loving God, we praise your holy name now and forever. Amen.
Graduates, congratulations to you once again on your achievements. Thank you for the imprint you have left on all of us. You have our best wishes for what comes next. All are invited to join our graduates at a reception at the Dennis and Denise Tepes Commons in the Donald E. Bain Campus Center immediately following our ceremony. Please remain in your seats until the graduates and the platform party have recessed. Friends and family, I declare this commencement closed.